Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today we're going to be going over 3.5's first shrimp marketing, Hysilens. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to call her Hysilens because I've been calling her ever since I seen her. So first thing out of the way is we finally got a real Raiden May lookalike. Akron was just in name, but this is now confirmed that like she basically is just this game's Raiden May lookalike. Kind of like Bronya is with I'm about to say like Bronya is named named Bronya, but doesn't really have that same feel to it. Where Silverwolf is closer to at least the bunny one. I forget her name. It's been a while. Haxor Bunny. That's it. But yeah. So Hysilens is gonna be a 5-star Nihility physical character. This is supposed to be our DoT return, if that makes sense. Supposed to be to bring back DoT as a whole. Now, what could this mean? Many things. The biggest thing though is she has a lot to fill. DoT is in a really bad spot. So if we just look at all the characters, there's not that many DoT characters specific as of right now. The main ones is Kafka, Black Swan, possibly Jiao Cho if we don't use them on Akron, Goinaifen, Luca, and Sampo. The other two are just Akron Cypher who don't help DoT at all. Kafka is another backbone of DoT. She's the character that basically just procs all DoTs when it's her turn, which is really good. It lets you do a lot of damage. Black Swan is starting to fall off a bit, but she is pretty good with E1. With E1, she's able to just lower the resistance, which matters a lot for these specific ones. Remember, enemies afflicted with any of these debuffs have their corresponding resistance reduced, but since her thing itself, the actual the Arcana mark, yeah, the Arcana itself is treated as all 4. I believe when you ult, or no, I think it's just base, right? I believe it's just base that it counts as all 4. It doesn't say it here for some reason. I believe it does though. I'm pretty confident it does count as all 4. Oh, it might be a trace thing. Okay, I don't know where it is, but I do remember that it does count as all 4, or is all 4. I do know he said that, and I don't know where it is, but I know that's the case. I think it's here. Here it is. It is unlocked. Yeah, this is unlocked. Additionally, if enemies are also afflicted with Arcana, they are considered to be simultaneously afflicted with Wind Shear, Bleed, Burn, and Shock. So, yes, that does matter. Yeah, it's mainly with Epiphany. So, there's that. But yes, they will be counted, so that helps a lot. But the characters, outside of applying the Arcana itself, that's all it is. Like, once the Arcana goes, it's kind of screwed, right? Unless you have E2 to keep applying it after someone's defeated, it's not really all that great. I don't think so. More Eidolons help a little bit, but the character is kind of screwed because she doesn't like proc all the DoTs on her turn. She just applies more, which doesn't help when the enemy doesn't go. Because DoT is usually just dependent on the enemy taking a turn, which is never really a good thing unless you heal from that DoT, which is only a semi-universe, divergent universe thing. But yeah, like I said, these two are the backbones. If you're looking for like supports, you have like Robin, and then you have like Ho as your main supports. Attack increase from both, energy, cost, team advance, all that. Kafka is getting buffed in 3.4, so we are going to be having that. That's basically just the start of DoT coming back. So as you can see, like she's gonna be able to proc more of the DoTs on people. The fall attack is actually gonna be good. She's gonna be giving she's gonna be giving more attack to all allies. Though it does suck that she needs AHR now because that wasn't the requirement before, but now it is. So that's fun. There's that. All this, yeah, just all this. But yeah, that's basically the character in a nut. That's basically what we have right now going into DoT right now. So what could Hysilens do? Multiple things, I think. The biggest one is just making the actual DoTs themselves more powerful. So there are a couple of things it could do. So basically in the game right now, actually, let me quickly pause to pull it up real quick. Alright, here we go. So I had to pull it up on the site again. But here it is. So basically Hysilens in the Divergent Universe. Usually these are pretty, these usually determine like what the character actually does to an extent. Or at least like is related to the character in some way, right? So for example, like Tribby is mainly just about ulting. Mighty is about losing a bunch of HP. Same with Castaris, but it increases their max HP as well. Aglaya is all about getting speed, which matters for the character, right? And then there's one for Serja, which I think is somewhere else. I don't know where it is. It's on my head, but it's somewhere else. But yeah, main ones is Hysilens here. Look at this. During the day, and increase enemy targets file damage taken by 25%, and inflicts enemy targets with Swan Song, which basically just means they take a physical additional damage equal to 4% base damage. It's an increased file damage. Trigger 1 instance of Swan Song damage at ratio 100%. All this, but here's the important thing. Swan Song is considered as bleed, which increases the damage multiplier increases the multiplier by 100%, and deals DoT at the beginning of each turn, which is really good. And then right here, each time Swan Song deals damage from the day, increase damage by 5%. And anytime other dots are received, triggers 1 instance of Swan Song damage at a ratio of 50%. So yeah, it is going to be like a physical DoT. I assume it's going to be kind of like with like Black Swan, where the actual DoT itself, like Arcana is considered as Wind Shear, but it'll have different properties too. I assume that will be something similar. It might not be called Swan Song itself, but it will be very similar to such, right? What they'll go about it, I don't know. Personally, I would just really like if the DoT, like maybe the DoT crits when she has this up, or maybe the DoT heals, or it just does like much more damage, like something, right? Because DoT right now, the biggest problem with it is, again, it relies on the enemy taking their turn, right? When you rely on that, it's not good, right? So either she's going to make the DoT itself more powerful, or make it to where they just take damage like during just sitting there, like during your turns as well, so it's not just completely worthless. We don't know exactly what she'll do off the top of my head. There have been a few crumbs, but I don't know how much that's actually going to carry over to version 0 or version 1. So I'll wait for the 3.5 beta to start in a couple of weeks to really give like a definitive answer, right? I do have high hopes for this character. This character is banking on a lot here. She is trying to assuming she is DoT, which I assume she is. We've gotten this is like our second Hildy character, and it's like I prefer not to just get into like sub DPS or DPS Nihildi character personally, but hey, is what it is, right? But if she is Nihildi, which I assume she is, or sorry, DoT, Nihildi, yeah, she is Nihildi. If she is DoT support, which I assume she is, she's got a lot riding on her, right? DoT itself is just in a really bad spot. There's only like 2 usable characters, and even then, one of them is outdated now, so we got to hope she either replaces that character entirely, or is a third support, basically like a pseudo support for the team, acting as all 3. I'm gonna sum the character because it looks like Red and May, and that's all I care about in my life. But I will probably running all 3, Kafka, Black Swan, and Hysilens, because I don't have Robin, and I still won't get Robin, and I don't have Full Hold either, so I'll just use Link Shot as a healer, but I think it'll be okay, right? I may just want for healing. As long as Hysilens is a solid pseudo support, I think it'll be okay. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. I just want to talk about what Hysilens could be, what we could expect. I really do hope that she does bring back the team. I do think DoT is a really interesting team overall, but it's just been handled poorly ever since Black Swan's release, I think. After Black Swan release, they keep trying to like pseudo buff it with like in the end game. It's like, oh yeah, DoT does this, but it's never enough. So that's it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.